welcome to the Calgary Herald Yoga video series for October. My name is Jo, and with me is Hart. So this month we're talking about awakening the spine. And between your pelvic girdle and your shoulder girdle is your spine, joining everything. And that takes a lot of, since we are the only bipedal animals, everything that we're carrying, all of our internal organs and everything needs to be carried as we walk upright. With animals, because they're on all fours, everything hangs down. Their spine doesn't quite take as much weight as we give ours every day. So maybe you've heard the expression, you are only as young as your spine. Once we lose that flexibility and being able to move in all kinds of different directions, that's when things become stiff. And when the spine doesn't have a good mobility, that means the shoulders won't have good mobility, the hips won't have good mobility. When the shoulders and the hips don't have good mobility, we get stiffer in the arms and the legs, and it just continues on from there. So this is a really nice little sequence that you can do at home anytime to just waken your spine, get things moving again. And know that it's taken you this long to get to where you are now, and it takes a long time to get it back. But it's not a life sentence wherever you are. If you start incorporating a few little yoga things into your day every day, doesn't need to be an hour, just even like 5 minutes will make a difference. So whatever you take from here, I hope it helps. So we're gonna start off on hands and knees. So I'm gonna have Hart move on to his hands and his knees. Good. And you want to make sure that your wrists are stacked over your shoulders and your knees are stacked under your hips. Good. And you can even walk your knees back a little bit there. That's great. Okay, so this is called cat-cow. And so Hart will start as he inhales, releasing his belly down to the floor. He's going to lift his sit bones and lift his chin. Good. And as he exhales, he goes the opposite way. Draw your belly in, let your chin come to your chest, and draw your tailbone down towards your knees. And he's just going to cycle through these poses. If you do this for a minute, so that would be about 10 inhales and exhales every day, this will really help you. You're going to start to feel a big difference just from this little action here. So I always say things are simple, not necessarily easy. This is one of those simple postures that pretty much everyone can do. And if you have problems with your knees, feel free to pad up. Put a pillow, some blankets underneath your knees. If your wrists are sore, you can go onto the knuckles of your hands or put something underneath the base of your palm here in your wrist just to change the angle. Lots of different things you can do. And that's really where having a yoga teacher will help. So that's great. So from here, I'm gonna have Hart come to standing. And just walk himself, there we go. Nice, and come stand in the middle of your mat. And I'm actually gonna have you face out. Great. Okay, so you're gonna stand with your feet hip distance apart. You're gonna ensure that your feet are pointing straight ahead. That's important. And from here, we're gonna move into mountain pose. So Hart will firm his feet into the ground. And as you press your feet down into the ground, you're gonna feel the rebounding energy travel up your legs. You're gonna draw your kneecaps up, get yourself nice and strong through your legs, draw your belly in and up. Take your shoulders up to your ears and back and down your back. And then turn your palms to face front, start to stretch your fingers. Good. You can even broaden your chest, extend your collarbones, and then draw your bottom ribs in slightly. And there's a lot of instructions to how to stand, but this is a really nice place to start. And from here, as Hart inhales, he's going to reach his arms overhead. You're going to bring his palms together, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, and press up. Yes, you can even look up if that feels okay for your neck. And this is a really simple but not necessarily easy place to lengthen your spine. So as you inhale, you press the palms upward and ground your heels into the ground. And as you exhale, you can soften a little bit. Great. And you could do this for 3 to 5 breaths. It's excellent, nice little stretch. Good. Okay, and from here, you can inhale, and as you exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Great. From here, we're going to move into triangle pose. So have Hart place his hands on his hips. And you can either step your feet wide apart, but if you feel a little bit more energetic, you can jump your feet wide apart. Nice. Good job. And then from here, I'll have Hart open his arms out to shoulder height. Yes, that's great. And then he knows. So he's already paralleled his feet so that the outside of the feet are parallel to the short end of your mat. I'm going to have Hart turn his left heel out a little bit. Yes, and then he's going to turn his right foot all the way out. Good. We're going to move into triangle pose. I'm just going to put a block here. If you have one, great. If not, no problem. And then from here, heart will inhale and lengthen your spine, ground your feet down, and as you exhale, start to drop your shoulders. Yes, and now start to come forward. Good, and as you reach forward, this is an important part of the pose. He's gonna pull his right hip back. Great, oh, he's got really nice extension here. And then from here, you can take your right hand and rest it on your block or your shin or your thigh, wherever you need. From here, heart's gonna take his left shoulder and stack it over the right shoulder. You're gonna open up, so you can even put your left hand on your hip when you do that and just open yourself up. And then once you're nice and open here, you can reach his left arm up towards the sky. And in the full pose, you look up at your hand, but if that's too much for your neck, you look straight ahead or look down. Good, and this is a twist. We're twisting the spine, we're strengthening the legs, and we're extending the crown of the head in one direction and the tailbone in the other. Great, awesome. And then inhale and come up. Maybe take the block with you. Come all the way back up and put the block in your other hand. That happens, that's okay. Good, and then you're gonna turn your right foot all the way in and even turn the right heel out a little bit. Yes, good. And then inhale and lengthen. Exhale, release the shoulders down. And then inhale here. And as you exhale, you start to reach over. Good. He's going to pull his left hip back, and then he can put that block down, maybe towards the center of your shin so that his shoulder's over his wrist. And I think he did that. Good. And then hand comes on your hip. You're going to stack your shoulders, open yourself up, and then reach your right arm up towards the sky. Yes, you're going to spread your fingers and get really strong everywhere. It's an excellent, excellent pose. Not easy, but it comes with practice. So we all work with where you are. And that again is where a teacher is going to help you. Good. And then inhale and come all the way back up. You can take that block with you. Yeah, put the block in your other hand. Okay, if you need a rest here, take a rest, but we're going to move on to the next pose, which is Parshvakonasana. And so same setup. The heart's going to turn his right foot all the way out. Turn his left heel out. Good. Okay. So I'm just going to have him set the block down before we move into the pose. And then he's going to lift both arms up like a T. Good. This time we begin almost in a warrior two. So we're going to inhale. You're going to press your feet down. As you exhale, drop your shoulders. Good. Inhale, draw your belly in. And as you exhale, he's going to bend his right knee. You're going to stack that right knee over your right ankle. You don't want to go past. So I can see he's a little past. Heart can go longer. So he's just going to make his legs a little longer apart. Good. And then from here, he's going to take his right forearm and place it right over his right thigh. Palm's going to face up. You're going to stretch those fingers. Put your left hand on your hip. Yes, and start to stack your shoulders. Yes, and then from here, he's going to take his left arm all the way up and over his ear. Yes. Good. You want to be careful not to drop your head here. Heart's lifting his head nicely. That's great. Good. Okay, so this is an excellent pose. You want to stretch from the fingers all the way to your back, outer edge of your foot. Get a nice stretch for your spine. You can stay here. This is stage one. Stage two, you can take your right hand and you can put it on the block he has outside here. That could be stage two. And stage three, you could ditch the block, and you could also bring your hand to the inside of your foot. Lots of different variations here. Again, this is where having a yoga teacher who's watching you and can help you find your place is helpful. But that's great, good. Nice, excellent spine stretch, excellent heart. You can come all the way back up. Good. All right, so do you want the block on the other side, or you're okay? Okay, good. So I'm just gonna let you move into the second side. And I'm gonna thank you so much for watching. Happy yoga, enjoy, stretch your spine, feel good, and you will find youth and vitality awaiting you. Yoga is, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, the fountain of youth, and it's accessible for everybody, whatever stage you're at. There's modifications for whatever you need. So namaste, happy yoga, hope to see you soon.